It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Greg Bakun here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations, exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information.
This is Chad, owner of AM950. Recently, I had a large order of custom designed t-shirts that needed to be turned around in a hurry. I knew exactly who to call. Grady Gear Company. Grady Gear Company is a local company that handles large and small custom clothing and apparel orders. I had a lot of questions from color, shirt quality, and what sizes we needed. Grady Gear Company was great to work with. They got us what we needed on time, and now everybody's looking great around the station in their new gear. Start your order at GradyGearCo.com.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining us on this Casual Friday. It is, I am just pumped up, and we're going to talk about this probably for a little bit tonight because I have just spent the day along with Adam over at Twin Cities Con, and we met a lot of people today. It was just an incredible experience. And we met people who have obviously listened to the program before and who enjoy it, which is a nice surprise. I'm not saying their show isn't good enough to be enjoyed, but it is always nice to hear. And it just was a fantastic day. So my Adam is over at in the other studio. I'm actually in studio today at the station. And, it's interesting, Adam. I mean, I don't know about you. My voice is teetering a little bit, and that's okay. I spoke so much today. It was insane.
And unfortunately, I was only there for like the last 3-4 hours of the event today. And oh my goodness, being able to not only just tell the paranormal stories I've experienced, the ones we've experienced together, but then the best part, though, was people who didn't even know this show existed sharing their paranormal stories
Yeah.
with us and even asking our opinions
Yeah.
on what they had experienced. To me, that was the best part, was just connecting with people who are just starting to begin their paranormal journey.
Yeah, very much so. And I mean, that's the thing too, is I have no shame in when saying that there was a lot of people that came up say they had no idea the show existed. And that's the purpose of us being at Twin Cities Con, was to be able to share that we are out there for those who are interested. For those, and one of the things that I got quite a bit, I don't know about you, Adam, is they're just like, well, I'm not up at 10 p.m. at night, and that's super fair. And it's like, but we are podcasted on all sorts of places, Spotify and Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, all of them. And the thing also, for those of you who don't do it, try podcast follow, and you can put in our podcast, and it will let you know when, kind of like an RSS as well, let you know when new episodes are available, which is literally every night. So that's exciting too. And, I mean, I've been blessed over so long to be able to go to a lot of these wonderful metaphysical fairs, paracons, and be able to talk about all this stuff. But I'll have to admit, I have never been to a place that had, tomorrow there's going to be 40,000 people there.
Oh, for sure, because you have Anakin Skywalker there tomorrow. You've got the Emperor. I think Emperor was there today.
Ian was there today. Yep.
And then I know you've got some of the professional wrestlers showing up on Saturday.
Yeah.
A few more illustrators showing up on Saturday. So what we saw today was probably the lowest amount of people that would be there on the Friday. Saturday and Sunday are going to be lots of people, lots of fun. And if you're somebody like me who, yes, we're there to talk about the show, but personally there, I love watching the cosplayers.
Oh, yeah.
That is my absolute favorite part of any convention, are the people who take the time to dress up.
Very much so. And what I found very interesting about all this, there was a lot of people there today. It wasn't the 40,000, but there was a lot of people there today. It was because the Minneapolis Convention Center is so big that it did not feel like, you go to places and you get kind of like claustrophobic, even in the aisles and stuff. And I did not feel that at all in the program, and excuse me, at the event today. And we were each talking to people at the table with other people waiting to talk to us afterwards.
And that was, to me, that was so cool, because I've gone to the Twin Cities Con. This is the 4th year of it. I've been there every year. And honestly, and I'm not saying this just because it's the show and we're on right now, the only time I see people kind of queuing up at a table is for the people who are there to take photos and give autographs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever see that at the vendors table, but even the short amount of time I was there, that happened at least 3 times.
Yeah, very much so. And people just wanted questions answered. They wanted to find out more about the show. And we really, I mean, it was a real exciting time, because, and not to bring down the tone or anything, but we worked really hard to get this show to where it is. And we're not by no means done. But to be able to have a day where people are interested in the show, anyone who does a podcast, a show, or anything else, more than likely are going to be like, we're in a room doing this. We don't know what the world thinks of our whatever. And, like I said, there's a lot of people who just never even heard of us before. But, I think we're getting some people who are going to check us out. And I'm hoping that we're going to provide some content that will keep them coming back.
Yeah, and those stack of business cards that promote the show was gone, absolutely gone by the time everything wrapped up tonight. I couldn't tell you how many people snapped a picture of the QR code for the newsletter to link them to the shows and the paranormal events that Greg puts on. It was fantastic, and this is only day 1.
And they were even they were taking pictures of the banner.
Yeah, next time we'll just have you stand in front of it. And, do the whole Vanna White thing.
I just didn't understand. It's like, but I'm here. But that's a better picture. That's an older picture of me on that banner that it's probably about 85 pounds ago. So I get it. but it also showcases my big head.
But it
So-
also showcases the website and where else they can grab the show when it's potted.
The
So
first time in 3 years, it's the right information on the banner. And that, and we're going to talk a little bit this evening about the Halloween episode from last week, because we really haven't talked about it. But at the 300 Clifton, when we had the banner, the old banner up, just to be over there, just so people might be like, what's this weirdo doing in the corner? And Shar was just like, very much like, we got to move this and so more prominent. We want to make sure that people see it. And she brought it up a couple times. And I'm just like, I don't want to move the banner. She's like, why? I said, well, I got a couple reasons. One, that it is the wrong day on it, the wrong time on it, and it has the wrong website on it. Other than that, it's good to go. Other than that, it's perfect. So no, it was really nice. I also want to do a shout out to Minuteman Press, because first of all, I got some business cards through Vistaprint, and which I do for a lot of things. And I didn't know that there was going to be 40,000 people here. So I'm just like, well, I'm going to order 200 business cards. And then we did the episode with Ben Penrod and Aaron Reynolds on Monday. And Ben's just like, yeah, I think we're going to max out at about 40,000 people this year. And I thought, boy, 200 cards, that's really nothing. And so we worked with Minuteman Press to do another 700, which I've never had that many business cards in my life. Probably I've never ordered in totality 700 business cards. And so I went out there today, pick it up, and we only gave that to them a day or so ago. So my friends over at Minuteman Press, as always, just like you did with all the Pride stuff that we printed and stuff, your work is exemplar. It's just incredible. And we went over to the one off of Washington Avenue, and it's just off of Dowling. If you take the Dowling exit and go off to Washington, beautiful place, very helpful, and they got what we needed. So Minuteman Press, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys so very much for us underestimating the amount of people that would be grabbing cards. And we still got 2 more days of this. I don't know if the 700 is going to be enough.
Wouldn't that be a nice tale to tell?
It would be. Let's go. We'll go back to them. Can you do something real quick for us Sunday?
Right. Well, and that's where I also believe that we're going to need to do eventually like a banner that goes over instead of, because I currently have a vertical banner, which is nice for most things I do, but this needed something a little bit more. And this is the great thing about it. We had a great day, but also a lot of ideas came up for like, how do we do it and plus it next year and make it, make things a little bit easier and whatnot. So I am, you could tell Adam and I are on a bit of a high from this. This was a lot of fun. And then we also had friends stop by today as well. My friends over at Council Room, the Doctor Who convention, they have a table there. They stopped by. I went over and I was able to visit Queer Unity, which we just, I believe, just did something with them on Wednesday as a station with JP. And I went over and they were there. So I said hi and introduced myself. That was really cool. And then we also just had some friends like AJ, who helped us on our Halloween broadcast, was there, and some other folks. And then a medium named Kendra came up, who she was just like, I listen to you guys all the time, and it's so great. And so thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. Really, it's just nice to have good days like that and be able to talk to people. And like you said, Adam, also help people, like you said, that you were able to give a couple people some suggestions on maybe types of equipment to use and stuff, because they wanted to start off and do their own thing.
Yeah, and like I said, to help these folks begin their paranormal journey, like, you've been on for 17 years, that I've been on for the last few years here, hooking up with you and Shar and everybody else. It's a wonderful step to take, and it's a great adventure once you actually begin a paranormal journey.
It is. And having a lot of people come up today to talk about paranormal, and it was really nice that we were able to have basically that people were able to understand that it's not scary. It wasn't, normally it's going to be me saying to people, well, paranormal isn't always scary. But I've had a number of people come up to me today talking about it, and they're just like, it's just so beautiful.
And the one young lady with the pet, she was talking when you were when she came up and she said, do you think animals?
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh, Adam's got a great story. So I was telling her about my cat Trophy.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, every once in a while I kind of want to just pet the dog. And I'm like, well, you get that urge. You're setting on your spot where you used to pet your dog, right? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, you get that urge to lean over to the left or to the right, and you're like, I'm gonna hit Scruffy here, and Scruffy's not there. That's Scruffy being next to you. Is like I'm telling her, it's like your dog is still there. Every time you're getting that urge, and you've known for 2 years that dog isn't there, but you still have that urge, that's that dog hanging out. And that dog's going to lead you to your next dog.
I do find too that one of the things I think is really pretty interesting about all that as well is that, I don't think people know as intimately, maybe even about their partner sometimes, than their pet in terms of the energy, the feeling and stuff. So, if you're feeling after let's, keep going with Scruffy over here, if, Scruppy, time to go home.
Scrappy Dappy Doo. You ruined this like Scrappy ruined Scooby Doo. Way to go, buddy.
Hey, I'm surprised we got this far in. But Scruffy, if you feel, you're going to feel Scruffy's energy, and you just need to acknowledge it. And, this is something we've talked about a lot this week, actually, for all sorts of different reasons. Respect and acknowledge your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hide them away. Don't be angry and just shove them down. Take at least a day, 2 days, whatever you feel, and acknowledge and respect them. And, the same with if you're feeling, a presence of somebody. It doesn't have to be Scruffy. It could be Aunt Ruth, could be whomever. Don't ignore it. Don't push that away. Ignore and take it and enjoy it and acknowledge it. And that's what I think a lot of people sometimes get scared to do, to be perfectly honest. So
I think so too, because I think in a lot of aspects they're going to think, well, people think I'm nuts no, you're not. You're not crazy if you're feeling that presence around you. That presence either knows that you're down or they need something from you.
Absolutely. I'm just looking over on Facebook because in StreamYard, for whatever reason, people are leaving comments, but I can't see their names. They're all Facebook users. So I'm just seeing who's leaving comments because it's just so unusual. And so, like, I see our friend Bruce, who is over at the console room table. I see you there, Bruce. It's good to see you. And he's like, it was great to have seen you in 3D. It was great to see you too. And it just, I don't know, every day Facebook is a little bit different. I really don't understand it at all. A couple things before we get to our break here. I don't really have a question of the week. But if there's anything that you want to talk about, give us a call, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. If I were to put a question of the week out there, I think I'd do the one that I asked Randy West on Wednesday. How early is too early for holiday music? For example, there are some radio stations in the Twin Cities that have started playing holiday music. Sirius XM, they have a great station, 40s on 4, which I love, but now that's been reverted to holiday music. Do you think it's appropriate to have that start on November 1st, or would you prefer to see it a little bit later, closer to Christmas? You let us know. We'd love to know. And then we're going to talk about the Halloween event, because we haven't talked about that at all. Because we've been so busy, so much going on. So we have a lot to talk about. Also, with it being Casual Friday, you could talk about whatever you want. Call us up, and we will have that conversation. And let's get things moving here. It's Casual Friday here on GhostBox Radio. Twin Cities Con returns to the Minneapolis Convention Center for the fourth year, November 8th through 10th. Twin Cities Con is a celebration of comics, toys, TV, film, art, cosplay, games, and all things nerdy. There is nothing like Twin Cities Con. It's also a family-friendly event where you can meet your favorite celebrities, browse the vendor hall and artist alley for the coolest merch, watch celebrity Q&As, and even more. Twin Cities Con is bigger and better than ever before. Come see from Star Wars, the Emperor himself, Ian McDermott, along with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, John DiMaggio, who is Bender from Futurama, WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Sting, and Sunday only Grant Gustin from The Flash and Glee, plus more guests to be announced. 3 days of action-packed fun is in the heart of Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets start at $40. Kids tickets are just $8 for the entire weekend. VIP tickets also available, including a 3-day weekend pass, plus some really cool VIP perks. Buy your tickets and get more information at TwinCitiesCon.com.
Are you one of thousands of individuals who know you have psychic abilities but don't know how to tap into your higher self? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who offers classes that can help you reach your goals. Refined Divine holds classes Monday and Thursday at her 2 locations and via Zoom. Classes consist of manifestation, learning psychic abilities, shadow work, and healing trauma. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
This is Psychic Medium Deb. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
It is Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio, helping you all ease into the weekend. I hope that everyone is able to get some rest this weekend, some relaxation, step away. If you want to, we still suggest come on out to Twin Cities Con. It's going to be a great weekend. I'm looking very much forward to it, as you may have been able to tell from the first segment. We try to keep it, under, some control, but I don't really know if we did or not. Adam, what did we do wrong here that they decided we just aren't worthy for weather anymore? I go on and on about this. I ask people, can we put the weather back in? We don't get the weather. I don't understand. What more do I need to do to get the weather onto the show?
Well, not only that, but we also need the autoplay to work. And we need if you notice tonight, there was no portions of the following could be pre-recorded.
Well, and luckily we're not pre-recorded tonight.
No, so we're live and in color, if you will. But what can we do to get the weather? Well, we can either let Patrick out of his box so he can start re-recording the weather. But last time we did that, he started biting people.
Yeah,
probably
right.
not a good idea.
Right.
But I also think in their mindset, if anybody's up at 10 o'clock, they don't care what the weather is because they're likely a vampire and won't have to deal with the weather.
I don't know why I like the weather so much. It's a nice way for me to get the StreamYard going at the right time. It's all, and I don't know. I just can I please have the weather back? I've asked very nicely. I've asked very nicely with the right people in the room, and for whatever reason, we are not doing that for some reason. So and here's the thing. You don't put the weather on, I'm going to keep complaining about it on the air. It's as simple as that.
Well, it might be a safety measure when I run the board that they don't have the weather on there, because I'm pretty sure they even know the story that when I first saw the movie Twister, me and my buddy went to go try and storm chase in a Chrysler LeBaron, and that was a horrible idea. They're probably trying to save themselves, that lawsuit from my wife.
Well, I'll tell you, I storm chase too, and sorry, can't stop it.
I'm sorry.
It's alive in us.
It is. It's dangerous, as probably the most dangerous thing I've ever done, but it was worth it.
Some breaking news here that I don't know if you saw or not. I don't know if you saw Tony Todd, who is in who's Candyman in Final Destination.
Yeah.
He died today at the age of 69, and that hurts.
He was one of my absolute favorite horror actors. And a little side note to that.
Yeah.
when I worked at a company actually here in Eden Prairie, which will remain unnamed, I do shipping and receiving as my day job. One of the UPS drivers showed up, looked exactly like him, and literally I did a double take and I'm like, Candyman?
Did he say, I get that all the time?
He did, and it swear to God, the dude was like 6'4", looked exactly like him, and he was probably one of the coolest UPS drivers ever had to deal with in my career of shipping and receiving and stuff. But he was so great. And the first day I was like, Candyman, and we hit it off well after that.
That's great. No, that's fun. And so I'm just trying to see here. Because I'm getting comments and I can't see where the comments are coming from. Once again, between Facebook and StreamYard and the weather, it's all a massive conspiracy to bring down GhostBox Radio on AM 950. The question was, for the question of the week, which is kind of haphazard this week, and I apologize, it's been busy. Is it too soon to start holiday music on November 1st? And the question there is, that was the question. Time to go home, Greg. Who am I? Facebook user, and I'm sorry, it's not saying who, and I was trying to see if I could see from the many pages that we post this to who posted this. So I apologize. I don't have your name. Pre-Halloween is totally too early for Christmas. They actually say Xmas. Personally prefer post-Thanksgiving because too many Xmas songs are over repeated. Mariah Carey. Oh, I added the Mariah Carey part. I think personally for me, Thanksgiving is the perfect time. Thanksgiving weekend, mainly Friday after Thanksgiving, is for me the perfect time because that's how I grew up with doing the transition. You just had this wonderful Thanksgiving meal. Friday, we look forward to, if you do this, and not everyone does it, put up the tree and be able to, have that as being something. That's just my opinion. But it's interesting to know what other people do. Someone else named Facebook user. This is incredible. So many people with the same names tonight. I'm over Christmas music by Thanksgiving.
That sounds like that would have probably come from my wife.
Well, it could have come from me
because she's like after the first two Christmas songs she hears on like whichever station it is that flips to Christmas music on the first here in the cities. I can't remember which one it is, but like after two songs, she's like, "Yep, I'm done." So that almost sounds like that would be my wife. It might not be, but that almost sounds like it would be.
But it sounds very much like it. Well, and here's the thing too. It's like, November 1st, I'm still wearing my Dracula cape. I mean, come on, give me some time to transition over here to non-Halloween Greg to, well, there's no holiday Greg.
Well, the sad thing is we didn't decorate this year because our lives have been really busy at home. But normally we decorate, we go to the nines when it comes to Halloween. Yeah. We actually don't take our Halloween decorations down until December 1st usually. And then probably the week before Christmas, we'll put up the Christmas tree and the handful of Christmas decorations we have.
Mm-hmm.
But that's usually how it ends up rolling. That the Halloween stuff will stay up till the 1st of December.
And that was your wife,
was it? I knew it sounded like something she would say.
And then spot on, Black Friday, start of Christmas or Xmas would be about right. Now, Xmas technically is a Futurama holiday.
Yes.
So I don't know if you mean that, in which John DiMaggio as Bender is over this weekend at Twin Cities Con.
But we won't have John Goodman, who would voice the Santa Claus.
Right.
That would have been great to have them both together. That would have been awesome. We could have done the whole Christmas episode.
But does he do after? Because John Goodman only did the one episode.
Yeah, he did that very first one.
Was it John afterwards? Because it's the same sort of gravel voice.
It wasn't John Goodman afterwards, but he did the first Christmas.
No, but I mean, it was a John DiMaggio, though, afterwards.
Oh, yeah. He took over both voices. Yeah. He's so versatile too. There's other things I've seen John DiMaggio or heard, excuse me, because he's a voiceover, where you had no clue that was John DiMaggio till you saw the credits, because you always just expect Bender.
Absolutely. No, and I don't think I'll see him this weekend, but it's just like to know I'm in the same building as he is. That's kind of nice.
I'm going to try and make sure that you have time to go pick up some Doctor Who stuff and go see John DiMaggio.
We'll see. I mean, it's so much fun being there, at the table. We'll see how it goes.
It is, but you haven't done one of these Twin Cities cons before. I want you to actually get out there and have some fun with it.
I did do, and I mentioned this on Monday's show. I did do a Comic-Con at the convention center a long time ago when Peter Capaldi was still the Doctor. For those of you who know, that means that would have been 2016, probably, maybe 2017. And I think it was 2017. And, it was really interesting how far conventions have moved on from when I was doing it, where it's just very much like mainstream stuff doesn't get into these conventions, which is obviously the main purpose now. But in 2017, I'm walking down the hall, in the like the C room or whatever, like we were in, and to my left is Peter Tork and Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees.
Oh,
they just
I am so jealous.
They just have all of these. Especially after like the following year, Peter Tork passed, and it's kind of a half joke. I like here's my picture of Peter Tork I put on Facebook, which is about 3 miles away, blurry, because that's about as far as I got. It's one of those things that I really wish I would have gone over and met them, because there was nobody around them. And then also, I do regret not doing the and I think were they at the Orpheum, Michael Nesmith and Mickey Dolenz, and then Nez passed like a month later.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that so bad, and I knew my wife wouldn't have gone with me, and I unfortunately didn't know you at that point.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I had to be the youngest person in that room by at least 10 years.
Well, and I didn't go because I didn't know anybody. I didn't want to be like the one guy in there like singing "I'm a Believer,"
Yeah, and that's the reason in school, in elementary school, I think it was 5th grade when band started or whatnot. The reason I chose drums was because of Mickey Dolenz and watching the Monkees growing up. I wanted to play drums because of that.
It's such a great program too, let alone the music. And I don't know. I did see the Monkees in probably 1987, I think, at the Minnesota State Fair. And that was all of them except Nez. And it was cool. And you know who opened for them?
Who?
Weird Al.
Oh my God, that's another one I want to see is Weird Al. But so is that on the 87? Because that's when they had their comeback.
They came back. I think they came back like in 85, 86.
Yeah, that was then This Is Now album.
Yeah, exactly.
I still own that album. I love that record.
I do too. And I mean that's such a. I got that cassette from my sister for Christmas that year. It was the best of the Monkees and had 2 new singles on it.
Yeah,
that was then This Is Now, and then Kicks.
Yes, Kicks was the other one.
And I remember just playing that tape to death on my Walkman, and I had nunchucks because I was that age.
Yeah,
and I'd use those as the drums.
Oh, that's awesome!
Like Take a Giant Step. Man, that was fun. And of course, no one else around me, none of my friends liked the Monkees. Nobody liked the stuff I liked.
Yeah, sadly, I'm 44, and it's still nobody likes the things I listen to. So,
well, you got a lot of different tastes, don't you?
A few different tastes.
My goodness.
Granted, though, at least my daughter will listen to some of the stuff with me. But then again, I like some of her stuff too, which has been kind of weird.
Same with my dad. My dad always liked the oldest music around, we thought, at least. And now, and I mean, this isn't since he passed. This was leading up to it. It's just that moment of like, this isn't bad, first of all, and secondly, it's very nostalgic now.
Yeah,
and it's it means a lot. Like Johnny Cash, Sunday Morning Coming Down. He used to play that in the bathroom when he's getting ready and when we're going to church, and you never really think of the lyrics like the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. It's stuff like that. It's just like, it's just when you're a kid, they're just words and it's music, and you listen to it growing up and you're like, what a cool song.
And I believe that song actually has my favorite Johnny Cash line in it too, which I'm looking for a place to lay my head that doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
love that line.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's fantastic. So no, it's it's very, very cool. And I don't know. We haven't talked about the Halloween event which we just haven't had time. It's been since Halloween. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and we're we all know how the week went. We all know what's going on. But we also we didn't have a show Tuesday. Wednesday we had Randy West, which was fantastic. We did Myth or Mystery yesterday, which Adam joined in on, which was you were great.
That's such a fun show to do. I love doing it. And I appreciate you and Miriam having me on all the time.
No, you were great on that. So we really haven't had a chance to talk about this 4-hour. It's amazing. You look back, excuse me, went over very well. I didn't know how this was going to go, but boy, that investigation, that was tight.
It was so good, and I love the fact that for those of you who were able to watch it on Facebook, YouTube, and on the streaming platforms, the fact that we were able to actually see things going on and to go into the different rooms where the investigators were, and they would have the equipment going off, or Shar with her dowsing rods getting good factual and historical answers.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the thing too, is like, and once again, you got to go check it out, because we had cameras in every room. The shots were set up by Lisa and Shar, and they looked fantastic.
They looked great.
And you saw a lot of orbs, and we're kind of always preset to believe orbs are dust. They can't possibly be orbs, but you don't understand. The 300 Clifton is truly spotless.
You could literally do a surgery in there. That's how spotless and clean they keep that mansion.
Well, I don't think we told you. We did actually, after the Halloween one, we did do a surgery in one of the rooms.
But, that's why we haven't seen. Okay.
Yeah. You haven't seen Patrick around for quite some time.
I thought we just left him in the box. Oh.
Well, the official line is that he's in Japan, but
okay.
Whatever. Anyway,
we're on the air.
We've said too much. So we actually that those orbs, and people were watching. That was the fun part on my end at the carriage house doing that. When I was just doing the show, you got a couple people that were kind of like, yeah, I'll listen to you, and it's like, pity. But once we moved to the investigation portion, and for those who don't know, we had a big screen behind me that had a projection of every room, so people could see it. And once the investigation started, we had a crowd watching, and they were really into it. And those orbs, and the one thing about orbs that you always got to remember, it's very easy to see dust and whatnot in night vision, which is what that was. But once you start seeing orbs with your eye, without night vision, with your naked eye, that is something you need to really start to consider being something that is more than dust. And a few of them were seeing them with their own eyes.
The one that really sticks out is the beginning of hour 2. If you guys are going to go back and watch it, beginning of hour 2, it's AJ and I believe Lisa in the room with the 4-post bed.
Yeah.
And you can see the orb shoot from over Lisa's shoulder towards AJ on the screen. What gave that away, that there was actually something there, was the fact that both of them saw it too and reacted to it at the time it was happening.
Yeah, that's all it takes. I mean, and that's why, there's a lot of people I know who are like, they think that it's so cool to investigate alone. And investigating alone, a couple things. First of all, it's dangerous. And I know that a lot of people in our field really want to try to look really strong and tough. And I think they think it's easy to do that in the paranormal field. But having somebody else with is a fantastic validation for what you're feeling. Especially, they didn't do it where like AJ's like, oh, look at that. And then Lisa's like, I saw it. They're both at the same time. Whoa.
Yeah, and that's what got me, as I'm sitting here in the studio watching the feed, watching the levels and everything, because I'm seeing it too on the IR, and then hearing and seeing both of them react at the exact same time.
Very much so. It's incredible. I want to talk more about Halloween here, and then anything else that's on your mind. And anyone has any other answers to the question, how early is too early for holiday music? I'm just curious what you all think. We got some more to get through. Give us a call, 952-946-6205. Let us know If you've had any sort of paranormal stuff recently you'd like to share, we have a lot of stuff going on here. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Twin Cities Con returns to the Minneapolis Convention Center for the 4th year, November 8th through 10th. Twin Cities Con is a celebration of comics, toys, TV, film, art, cosplay, games, and all things nerdy. There is nothing like Twin Cities Con. It's also a family-friendly event where you can meet your favorite celebrities, browse the vendor hall and artist alley for the coolest merch, watch celebrity Q&As, and even more. Twin Cities Con is bigger and better than ever before. Come see from Star Wars the Emperor himself, Ian McDermott, along with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, John DiMaggio, who is Bender from Futurama, WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Sting, and Sunday only Grant Gustin from The Flash and Glee, plus more guests to be announced. 3 days of action-packed fun is in the heart of Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets start at $40. Kids tickets are just $8 for the entire weekend. VIP tickets also available, including a 3-day weekend pass, plus some really cool VIP perks. Buy your tickets and get more information at TwinCitiesCon.com.
Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio. Join us Monday on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. We're going to have the return of author Anna Maria Manalo, and we're going to be talking about one of her books, Haunted Heirlooms, and that's going to be great. And the last time that we had the author on, someone had to sleep with the lights on, is what I understand.
Oh, yeah. She's usually pretty scary. And the Haunted Heirlooms, now that my father-in-law is living there and bringing in a bunch of old stuff from, even his parents, it's just kind of like, I want to, what's the best way to put it? Keep a better eye on things that are going on in my house, just in case.
A lot of dolls.
No, luckily enough, not a dolls, but a lot of like antique fishing stuff, because my father-in-law is a big fisherman, and I believe his father was too. So I wasn't sure if there's anything going to be attached to any of those, as those were wonderful moments they had spent together. So try to, pay a little bit more attention around my house now that he's bringing his stuff in.
I mean, it could have been a great sequel to Candyman, Fisherman, and just, see how that goes. But lure you into danger.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, no, Greg, they're not booing you. They're saying boo-akin.
It's a good joke. Save that for when it's a bomb. And you'll have your chance, I guarantee.
Oh, I'm sure. But I'm tired enough to, you could bomb all night, and I'd probably be like, yeah, whatever.
So let's see here. We have that. There's something else I was going to mention, and I totally forgot, and that's fine. But it's really, it's just one of those nights, and sleep will be a pleasure tonight. It's amazing what it takes out of you to just be nice, I guess. I don't know. It's foreign to me, I guess.
I don't think it's so much being nice. It's
I was all right.
because you, as much as you say you're not, you are kind of a nice person, kind of.
Yeah, that you could tell that was hard to get out of.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to make you not come off as the dark soul you really are, and it's not working. I apologize.
It's when Ernie was on the Halloween thing, and he said to me, "You're really a good friend," and I so badly wanted to use a line from a series called Red Dwarf, where there are a bunch of people stranded in space, kind of thrown together. They don't really like each other, and one of the characters is leaving, and they're all saying goodbye, and we're gonna miss you. And he says, "I've come to I've come to think of you as somebody I once met." And
Oh, that would have been a great line for Ernie.
I thought, Ernie's actually trying to be nice. And here I am. I just can't let it go. I cannot give him, but luckily kindness prevailed. So,
well, you bring that up, and during the Ernie Pack interview, we were talking about, and something you had brought up earlier, investigating by yourself.
Yeah.
And Ernie talked about, anything that could happen. And then as we get into the final hour of the live, some of the stuff that Ernie talks about, where you should have people around you, happened to someone who was there. She started feeling like very oppressed at one point.
Yes.
And that was perfect to go back to hour 2 and be like, this is what Ernie was saying. This is why we do it in a group.
Totally. I mean, and that's just totally it. And I just I don't know. I mean, people, I have a theory, and people who will absolutely disagree with me, and that's fine. And I don't necessarily mean this maybe about investigating alone, but those who will go into a room and try to provoke, and they'll go in and they'll like shake their fists into the air and be like, come on, come get me, do what you want. I believe that those are people who actually don't believe in the paranormal.
I think you've got a point. They're the kind of folks who are like, yeah, I don't believe in you. Do your worst. Do what I've seen in the Hollywood films.
Yeah, because it's not going to happen. You're not going to affect me. And it's just like, then it does affect them. And I've seen it where the mighty have become a little scared, and noises coming from them that, just like whimpering. And it's like, it can happen. And you got to be careful about that. And I was talking to somebody today, because someone said to me at the con, they're like, have you ever been to like any place that's called like Gates of Hell or something? And there is a place over in West Point, Kentucky, or not West Point, but it is in Kentucky, that Denise and Ernie took Shar and I to, and Bishop Long has called it Gates of Hell. And it's not. There's nothing nasty about these places. Just like I think at the Bobby Mackey's in the old place, and where had that big hole, I think they called that Gates of Hell as well, or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the reason why people get scratched at that location is because they're provoking. Don't provoke and you're not going to get scratched. But you get these people who think that they are immune to it, or they're stronger than it, or they don't actually really believe. And, when I went to Bobby Mackey's the day before, apparently some person got scratched, and they're like, be careful, someone got scratched last night. And my friend Nicole and I, she was with me and we did the investigation, we were just like, we don't have anything to worry about, because we're not going to do what that person did. And that was exactly what happened. In fact, if you remember, because I'm sure you've seen stuff about Bobby Mackey's.
Oh, yeah.
So Carl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Carl had passed away by that point, but we were allowed to investigate his apartment.
Which, that's pretty much off limits to the public, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
And I was going to say, I don't know about now. Well, now it's torn down, unfortunately. But we were up there, and there is some angelic figure up there that we got a message, and we were asked not to repeat it.
And you do it that way. You stick with their wishes, because you go against their wishes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much provoking.
You really don't want to. Yeah, you don't. If you're going to say something, and here's another. Someone else says we're allowed to go into the apartment. Okay,
Oh,
that's
excellent.
cool. Yeah, great. And I don't. Sorry, folks. I don't know who's saying what because tonight it just says Facebook users. So I do apologize that I'm not calling you all by name. But there's something. I don't know. There's something about doing the promise, and where I was getting at is so just up the road from Bobby Mackey's, we were doing an investigation of a Masonic mansion,
Mhm.
and this we were shooting it for our web series, and I'm interviewing the guy who is running the place. He's had it for at that point nearly 50 years. And so he had a whole time, and I'm shooting him on camera, and because he's just showing us around, shooting camera, and he just does his thing. He's like, yeah, that's we're gonna put some more wall over there. Sometime I'm hoping to replace the ceiling, and that's where I shot a guy and killed him.
What?
Right,
Like nonchalant. Oh yeah, and I shot a dude there.
that's where I shot the guy and killed him. And so we were like, okie doke, and when he did his time. It
Okay.
wasn't like an on-camera confession.
Okay, I was like,
but he did his time, I guess. But we were still like, all right, this place was pretty dark. But we had earlier in the day, Nicole had received a message that the spirits at this lodge wanted candy.
okay.
But Nicole and we were enjoying the day, doing our own stuff, and we may have had a couple drinks at a bar. And we may have forgotten all about the candy. So we set up everything in the upstairs and set it all up. And I had REM pods and I had all sorts of stuff that made noise in this room. And Nicole said, I am so sorry, but we forgot the candy tonight. Everything in that room went off like rage.
No way.
Yes.
That-
Everything went off.
So did you or Nicole go find a quick 7-Eleven and grab a couple of Snickers or something?
No, because there was gunshots outside of the place we were at. This wasn't in a
Oh,
great
it was
area.
the owner. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
right.
good with him, right?
Well, I don't want to find out the hard way. But yeah, it was pretty, and it was already like in the middle of the night. And that was the only time Nicole and I went on an investigation and we got in an argument because it's something there wanted to split us up. And I wanted to do it. I wanted to go back upstairs and confront what was up there.
Ooh.
And she's just like, no, don't do it. And we just had not a bad, but we had a disagreement. I mean, to say even like a disagreement, like, don't do it. No, I want to. That was more than we would ever do. That's pretty severe by our standards.
Right.
We were always very much in sync. But, it tried to separate us. It tried to turn us against each other. It was a dark, dark place. That was also a place that we were talking to a little girl and I was just using some intuition. And I'm like, you're not a little girl, are you? And through Spirit Box, nope, I'm not.
That's usually the thing. I mean, I'm not even going to say it's a demon. It's probably just a person who was a butt in their living life, likely a butt now, messing with people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it always seems like they always want to take on the form of a youngster, let her be a little girl or a little boy, because they know that's going to tug on somebody's heartstrings.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think there is something dark in there, but I wouldn't go as far as a demon.
Yeah. And there are elementals that aren't demons. They're, like I said, bad people in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's just, and I just feel like that there's a lot of history. It's an old building. I mean, it goes back really way far. And this person who owned it, he, like I said, he owned it since the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And this was in 2000 and 15 that we shot, something like that. So it was over Halloween as it happened.
Okay, yeah. I could definitely see, and especially a building that old. Yeah, I could see just whatever had been there prior. And even what was the thing built on top of? It could have been, an elemental even messing with everybody.
Could be anything. Yeah, it was and it just wasn't a great area to be in. And we made, I mean, we sort of ran out of there.
I would have too.
I mean, not at that point, but when we were done, it wasn't like, okay, let's get out of here. It's like, once we start moving forward, do not look back, do not turn to your sides, just get out.
Yeah, grab your stuff and go.
And someone else who had used to work with Nicole quite a bit said, you need to leave some pennies by the door when you leave. And so there is like this little, because it was a long a stairwell going, up and down to get in and out. Because when you go in, you had to go up a flight to get to the main floor, I guess, and do anything else. But then you had to leave the pennies like just on the doorway where it's unfinished in the hallway. So it was a lot of just wood studs and stuff, and you just put it there and didn't look back. Who knows what was there? We just moved. I've never experienced anything like that, and we vowed not to talk about it again until we were far away from that place.
Right on.
A very interesting, very strange night for sure.
That sounds like it. That sounds like a insane night. And were you guys there from sundown to sun up, or
not till sun up? But I think we called it fairly early. I think we got out of there around 3:30 or so.
Oh yeah. So you stayed through the witching, almost through the entire witching hour.
Yeah, we stuck around where we just like to the point that we were done. Speaking of being done.
Oh crud!
Right? It moves fast, doesn't it? Folks, come on out to Twin Cities Con. Adam and I will be there tomorrow. We'll be there Sunday. We're in booth 829, but also come out there for a whole lot of other reasons. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. If you do come out, please come by and say hi to us. We'd really appreciate it. And also Monday, Anna Maria Manalo, we're going to be talking about haunted heirlooms. There's so much to talk about. A lot of fun. We had such a great day today, Adam. Great to have you with me on that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be back on Monday with Anna Maria Manalo. Everyone, have a fantastic weekend.
Come see the trained chimp. It's the